Sound good. You sound good. But yeah, as you probably saw, Lulu, I just got into Dank Memer last night. I finally started playing it because I was like, what has everybody else been playing? I want to check it out.
I have it muted, so I can't see what people are
Oh.
saying.
That's
I
understandable.
did not notice.
That's understandable with it going all
Otherwise,
the time.
otherwise I would just get spammed, and I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And I have made it Angel's responsibility for anything that happens, so
Yeah.
because she wanted to add it, so it's her responsibility.
I see. I was wondering who added it in.
Well, she can't add it, but I added it. But anything that happens is still her responsibility.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I started playing it because my goal is to at some point have enough money so that I could get a fox pet. Because you can have a fox as a
Yeah.
pet in it, and that's my main goal. But it seems to be far off because I need like 5 million to get a fox.
Oh, jeez.
And then once I have the fox, I have to worry about like feeding it and stuff too, of course. But that also costs money. So I should probably
Well,
wait a little bit after 5 million so that I have the money to feed my fox.
well, you can work a shift, I think, at like every 18, 28 minutes. Um, so
Yeah.
that gives you about 20,000 if it works out well.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
I've
could do
been
like that like 10 times a day.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like I was like really into it cuz I was like spamming all the different commands and like getting stuff from like digging and fishing and farming and all that stuff, but then um and searching and all kinds of things, but I don't know, it's just my problem is that I get really burnt out from these things real fast. Like I'm not one of those people who like opens up like their app game and does their dailies every day.
Yeah.
Like I've had a couple of those and I'll like do it for a little while and then I'll just drop it. But yeah. So I don't know how long I'll mess with it, but at least now I have like a goal that I'm trying to reach, but we'll see. We'll see. I did have like 1 million by the end of yesterday, but then I had to spend a lot of it on stuff that had broke, like tools that had broke and stuff, so then I lost a big chunk of it. Big boof moments. Oh, I should send out the notifications. I'm an idiot.
No. Go ahead.
I almost put it in Tank Memer.
I don't want this.
Okay, almost done. Apple event 2024? What the heck is that?
Oh.
I just looked at, because I went on Twitter or X or whatever to, send out the notification, and I just see under what's happening, Apple event 2024. I'm like, what? I guess it's like a live stream, an Apple product live stream.
Oh, you can beg for coins as well, Anya.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Yeah, there is a lot of ways of getting coins, and like if I like really hunker down and do it, I can get a lot of coins, but it'll be like me switching between like digging, searching, farming, fishing, digging, searching, farming, fishing, digging, searching, farming, fishing, and I don't know if I want to spend my days doing that.
No, you don't.
There we go. Here we go! All the notives have been sent out. Let's go. Cut said in the VN Night chat about the Office game, we could put Slacker progress and Specialist progress at 0% and just pretend we work at an office for 3 hours. Do the full role-playing experience. And let's hope that my controller doesn't randomly disconnect like it sometimes does.
Yeah, because now you moved.
Like in most games, it wouldn't matter because it would just reconnect. But with this game, it matters because it won't reconnect. It'll just crash. I don't remember what we were doing. Oh yeah, I remember we got like a bad ending, but then I did some stuff and now we should be fine.
Yes.
Um,
So, last time we kept trying to chase Maria, who we thought were Hitomi, up and down the elevators, which then caused Archie several times to get murdered because he went to the wrong place. And also, in another bad end, Hitomi and Archie got murdered. Well, Archie got murdered and then Hitomi got kidnapped. And we had to make sure that Minoru contacted Osawa and finished of his wife. And I think we're there now, yeah.
yeah, like
oh no, and Stanley, whatever, but not soon Hitomi met up with Kanan again.
Yeah. And they had a very cryptic convo, and then Sasayama tried to catch one of the guys, and he got stabbed, and Kano's in dismay. Tateno discovered that Maria has escaped and everything, and he's just like, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to kill your sister, but you don't know that right now, so you'll probably hate me later. And then Achi and Hitomi are trying to get to the surveillance to look around, I guess. I don't remember why. Okay. Looking ahead again, Achi saw that they were bearing down on a young grade school girl. Her head hung in dismay. I'm guessing this is Hana. I don't know. Why would we grab her?
Oh.
A part of me feels like if this is Hana, then we may need to grab her because she's just hanging around, but I don't know if it's Hana. Achi took a quick leap to one side. He managed to avoid crashing into her by taking a tumble himself, but the girl was still definitely a bit shocked. Yeah, it's Hana. Sorry about that. Are you alright? But the girl didn't answer or even meet Achi's eyes. She just looked around as if in a daze. Was she waiting for someone, maybe? Waiting on someone, maybe? Odd kid, Achi thought. I hope she's okay. Definitely not okay. Her dad is like being hunted down. Once more, Achi and Hitomi set off running. Achi led Hitomi to an old multi-tenant building. They hurried inside and headed up the stairs. Behind the reception window on the second floor sat the custodian sleeping on the job.
Kita, Kitashima. His main job is overseeing the monitoring room for the local surveillance cameras, but on the side he also works as a novelist and game scenario writer. He often sleeps in the job during his free time, so sometimes while he's asleep he gets his writing done. Just recently, a certain game was released set in Shibuya. I wonder what that could be. But since he wrote the scenario and emailed it to the game company while he's asleep, he didn't know about it until just the other day. But yeah, that's the writer, yeah.
Amazing. What is this? Sleeping Kogoro from Detective Conan? Hey, wake up, man. Aichi gave the window a tap and the man woke with a start.
Chichi, don't scare me like that.
That's one chi too many. Wow, you sure seem to have a lot of free time on your hands.
You know it's been my shit today. But that should be, right? I guess it's a fair bro, but still.
The man let out a big yawn. Oh my god, why did I start going into a southern accent there? My dad asked me to come down here and check out security monitors, actually.
Sorry to bother you while you're busy. Huh? Really, you? You are that Chichi? You tell me I'm sorry. It's nice to meet you. What, you a Chichi girlfriend?
Again, that's too many cheese there, and that's none of your business. Just let me have the key. Hoping his blush wasn't too obvious, Achi mimed unlocking a door.
You want to answer some question and expect me to hand over the key. Yes, I'm his girlfriend. We've just started dating. So I'm sure I'll be seeing more of you, sir.
I love how shocked Achi is.
Oh, well, what a surprise. I never thought a Chichi could let a fine lady like yourself.
The surprised custodian held out the key.
Good for you, Chichi.
Still one chi too many there. But yeah, Data. Achi gazed into Hitomi's face, even more surprised than custodian. The key dangled, swaying to and fro like a pendulum between Achi and the man behind the counter.
Achi,
Hitomi said, nudging him in the side with her elbow.
come on.
Oh, right. Snapping out of it, Achi took the key and headed up to the next floor. His face is so funny.
I'm sorry. For just saying we were dating like that, I mean, it was a pretty clumsy lie.
No. It was just kinda sunning is all. I was just a bit jittery, I guess. Achi felt his cheeks color again.
I mean, I figured I'd say so, Cole. He wasn't going to cooperate.
She looked a little embarrassed herself.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make things weird.
No, nah, it wasn't weird at all. Actually, it was kinda... He stopped himself there. Now wasn't the time for that sort of conversation. They need to find that blue minivan. Oh yeah, they decided to look at the cameras to see if they could find the blue minivan. Now I remember.
Yeah.
The surveillance camera monitoring room was really just a big office with a single computer. Achi knew it well. So this is a monitoring system. He switched on the computer. You could see all of downtown Shibuya from this one computer. Hitomi gazed impatiently at the monitor, even though it wasn't showing anything yet. The look of sheer determination on her face held Achi enthralled. You talk about how attractive your sister is, but as far as I'm concerned, right now you're the lovely one, Hitomi. Hitomi looked at him uncertain. I mean, look at the lengths you're going to and the risks you're taking to save your sister.
I never thought that something might happen to her. And last time we were together, I said such horrible things.
Plenty of people do bad things without even realizing they're bad, never mind trying to fix it.
I'm just trying to do what I think's right.
Yeah, but these days most people don't do the right thing. Heck, if they did, Shibuya wouldn't be covered in trash like it is. Me, I appreciate when someone really cares about the things that are important. Doing the right thing is a matter of course. That's very attractive.
My God.
Hachi blushed as he said it. Hitomi shyly looked away. They're so cute, honestly.
They are.
Aww. Just want to give them both a big hug. I don't know. I think the system's ready. Turning on the computer, Achi hastily changed the subject. This thing's so simple, even I know how to use it. Clicking on the mouse, he brought up a row of 4 windows on the monitor. Each window showed a different view of the Shibuya cityscape. The image quality's not great, but that's because it's being updated on a 2-second delay, I guess. Achi tapped on the keyboard, bringing up shots of different locations. He clicked on one of them in order to enlarge the image.
We can really find that main about with this.
My dad's the one who designed the security system.
Your dad must be pretty amazing.
Well, he graduated top of his class at Tokyo Denko University.
A prestigious national university founded over a century ago. Applicants who place highly on the entrance exam can receive a full scholarship. Achi's dad was one such attendee. The school has supported extensive research in artificial intelligence. Recently announced an AI program known as BODY body. While the computer is asleep, different personalities emerge, which have an impact on various normal thought processes, forming a network of more human-like thought patterns as a result.
Again, I almost got convinced, and then I looked at the top left and saw 428.
Mm-hmm.
He always said he could have had a career in computer engineering, but he took over the electronics shop so that he could marry my mother instead.
Good story. Do they run the store together then?
Achi shook his head. No, my mother died when I was 4 because this is a fictional story and we can't have any characters without one of their parents dying or being terrible or disappearing or...
Single protagonist has to at least be partly an orphan.
Yeah. It's like, what the heck? One of these days I'm gonna write a story and both the parents are gonna be there.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta... Wait. I forgot the shout out command. Hi, Mew. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Welcome.
Sorry.
It told me sounded even sadder than Achi. Sorry. Well, anyway, never mind that. Here, look. Look out there. The idiot playing this. Oh! There he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
Like the Norcal.
Yeah, we're seeing them running around the town. The seedy looking weirdo they'd run into at Geigo was on the screen. Huh? That guy again? Said weirdo was running all out, a laptop computer under one arm. He was being chased by a man in a long coat. That guy sure gets chased around a lot, huh? When the weirdo slipped out of view, Achi switched to another camera. Just watching them run around town.
Yeah.
Hi, Azure. Welcome to the stream.
Hello! I love you more than I do.
No, I love you both the most, and as a fact, I'll fight you. Azure said, I'm chasing you right now. Yep, this is live footage of me and Azure running.
Yeah, that's actually dated.
Yeah. No, you. Uh-oh.
I have dated. Sweet.
Oh no, again.
Oh no, the controller.
Let me see. Is there... I don't know what the controls are for... Yeah, and there's no game sound right now. It's just this, but now my controller has disconnected, so it's lost the connection.
Yep. So this is just awkward.
Yeah, I'm just gonna X out and reopen. Awkward.
Awkward.
Oh no, it's all the way here. Oh my god, gotta click through all this.
Ah, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the pancakes.
Ooh, you had pancakes?
Yeah, he posted them in the food channel on my server.
Heck yeah.
He had pancakes and hash browns.
Heck yeah. Love these crunchy gifts. Oh wait, I forgot. I gotta look at this again.
And I'm sure Em would still say it's a crunchy GIF.
Yep. Foul also says GIF.
Yeah. Weirdo.
Like, why?
Why, when it's a GIF?
Yeah.
Literally what the creator said.
Yeah. By hopping from camera to camera, they could track him wherever he went. So long as we have these cameras, this guy has nowhere to run. Nowhere to run, huh? The moment he said those words, they struck an odd chord in his mind. He remembered the repeated run-ins with the man with the cane, how the assassin had seemed to always know where to find them.
Archie, please. Stop messing around and let's look for the minivan.
Right, my bad. She switched over to a different camera. He continued switching views, scanning the streets of Shibuya, but there was no sign of a blue minivan anywhere. Still, they remained glued to the monitor.
Oh, that's me. It's an email from Mr. Tanaka.
Okay. Yeah, it was about time for my mood to take a dip.
What?
She looked up from her phone.
Archie! Mr. Tanaka found the minivan.
He what? What does he say? Read it to me.
I ran after it, but wound up losing sight of it. It was heading towards Jinan. That's what he says.
What about your sister? I can't jump because I haven't gone far enough with Maria yet to be able to jump over. What's she inside? Why am I talking like that?
Yeah, what happened? He doesn't say.
Auntie switched over to the array of surveillance cameras near Jinan. The few seconds the transition took felt agonizingly slow. Finally, 4 new images popped up. Auntie quickly enlarged one of them. Oh! Oh wait, no, that was you. There on the monitor was the blue minivan. There was no doubt about it. Oh no! Let me wait. It just hit me. It just hit me. That explodes, right? Like that's the thing that explodes, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
We should not go near that blue minivan, guys. Guys, we shouldn't go near the blue minivan. I made a mistake. I should have just kept watching.
Yeah, maybe you should have chosen the other option.
Yeah, I thought about it. I should have not doubted my intuition and went with the first option I thought of, which was to keep following them. Anya told me rush for the building, speed towards Jinan and an all-out run.
Run, actually, run, he told me. Run, other guy. He's looking for Miku.
Yep. That's Minorikawa. Oh, I can jump to Minorikawa. Let's go. Wee! Or maybe I was right. Running along Kowandori in pursuit of Miku. Oh wait, no, this would be you. I got so used to saying the narration.
Though it might be easy for you to say it because I'm going to be stringing my voice from the voice.
Oh, that's
from
true.
Power, so.
Running along Kowandori in pursuit of Miku, Minorikawa heard a cell phone ringtone coming from somewhere nearby. Oh. Oh my god, live action. Oh, he's dead!
Look what you did!
But we got some live action footage! Can you jump to these fists?
Killing him!
Suddenly, a massive fiery blast knocked him from his feet. A deafening roar set his head throbbing. What was that? What's going on? He lay in a daze on the ground, trying to wrap his mind around what had just happened. And there's Miku! He smelled the foul scent of burning rubber. Then came a sound of quick footsteps rushing up to him. Mr. Minorikawa! A voice called out to him as if across an impossible distance. Mr. Minorikawa! Yeah, it's Hatsune Miku! Let's go! Was that Miku? I manifested her. He forced his eyes open and saw Miku looking anxiously down at him. Mr. Minorikawa! Miku, those things I said earlier, I'm sorry.
This is me, Anya.
Oh wait, yeah, I'm sorry. Mr. Minorikawa.
King hell, Anya. Anyway. Right, Pearl. Those things I said earlier. I'm sorry, I went too far.
What are you talking about? That's not important right now. Miku choked back a gasp, and Minorikawa realized he had blood leaking from his mouth. His body wouldn't move, and his mind was reeling.
What happened? Tell me.
Miku's voice was dry and hoarse. There was a minivan. It exploded. Exploded? I'm guessing the ringtone. I wonder if it was like rigged to go off for hearing that ringtone. Because some bombs can be like rigged to do that, where it like responds to a certain like stimulus.
Yeah.
And since that's the ringtone that Hitomi has for Tanaka, Tanaka could just call Hitomi when they're nearby the van or send a message or something and they die. Minivan exploded on a city street? That sounded like a terrorist act. His reeling mind drifted back to the attempted bioterrorist attack on Kazumi Gaseki 2 years earlier. An unoccupied minivan had exploded outside an MPD station, and afterwards a device meant to scatter a dangerous biological agent had been discovered near the subway. With sudden clarity, Minorikawa recalled what Osawa had said earlier.
The power balance of the entire world might be at stake here.
Could there be some sort of connection between Osawa's warning and this explosion? There was.
I think my man voices for some reason.
Yeah. There had to be. Minorikawa's journalistic intuition told him it must be true. Something terrible was underway here in Shibuya. I don't know which officer it is. It could be Kano. It could be anybody. Police! A man in a suit announced. He crouched beside Minorikawa and gently lifted its head and torso. It was! Hey in there, buddy! Stay with us! The change of position allowed Minorikawa to clear his airway, and he sucked in a deep breath.
Oof. Don't do that.
Yeah. It's almost as if someone is scrambling Shibuya. Bran, 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 bran. But as he but as he did, an intense pain shot through his lungs. By the way, Azure said that in the chat.
I know, I saw.
I think I might be done for. Whatever his intuition might be telling him, it didn't look like he'd ever be able to write about it. But if he could get his words out onto the page, the least he could do was tell someone else. With his last act, maybe he could still accomplish something. He strained to get a few words out.
Or sour. Danger sour. The power bands of the entire world.
As his voice failed, he heard the sound of ambulance sirens approaching. Paramedics began frantically unloading stretchers. Turning his head, he saw a number of other people who had been injured in the explosion laid out on the roadside. Amongst them were a woman and a child. Emergency workers bearing a stretcher came over to Minorikawa.
Forget about these. I'm beyond helping. See, all of us is dead.
Minorikawa shouted inwardly, but no one heard. Wah wah.
My shibuyas have been scrambled.
Minorikawa chased Miku as far as Koendori, only to be caught in the blast when a minivan suddenly exploded. A few simple words could change his fate. Someone who shouts something at 15:30 needs to change what it is they shout. If Minorikawa hears something that grabs his attention, he may not get too close to the explosion. Someone who shouts something at 15:30.
It may be in one that we haven't done yet, so.
Yeah.
But poor Minorikawa, Jesus Christ.
Yep. It might be Kano, I wonder. I'm gonna run to Kano. Oh no! This is after the fact, never mind.
Yep.
Suddenly a boom as loud as campfires shook the area. Something's wrong, Kano thought. That's no ordinary city noise. A column of black smoke rose. Oh yeah, this is when we had the shot. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this part. This I love that we can keep seeing this shot. This is my favorite. I love it so much. Yeah. he's so devastated.
I'm so worried.
And Kano saw flames. This hadn't been an accident. I mean, I don't know if I should even continue with this just yet. Can I go back to the menu? I wonder if,
Yeah, just go back to Archie and continue that.
Yeah. Neither spoke. They simply dashed along in silence. Archie felt as if they'd been running a marathon, and the finish line had finally come into view. They hooked a left at the station and darted past the Seibu department store. Aha! Aha! Archie pointed as it came to a stop. Yeah, I don't know why it came out as like a pirate. The blue minivan was still there, parked by the curb along the slight hilly incline. Leaving Achi behind, Hitomi started running up the hill. Running up that hill. Running up that building. Alarm bells started going off in Achi's mind. Someone from the kidnapping crew was in that van. It was dangerous to approach carelessly. Wait! Hitomi. If he says Hitomi, wait. That might stop... the Minorikawa, because he might react to hearing the name. Possibly.
Only one way to find out.
Hitomi, wait! Achi shouted. But she didn't appear to hear his cries. The hope of rescuing her sister had driven all else from her mind. Achi started to run after her. Hitomi had reached the vehicle already. She brought her face close to one of the windows, but the tinted glass obscured the view inside. Hitomi circled around to the minivan's other side. Achi saw her grasping at the door. She slipped out of his view for just a moment. Oh, there he goes! No! Whoa! That car! There was a thunderous explosion and a gout of flame toward the roof off the minivan like it was made of aluminum foil. Hitomi! Horrified, Achi charged through the rolling smoke, searching for Hitomi. He saw two figures sprawled on the street several meters from the van. Oh, snap! Is that Minorikawa? Or no, who is that? Oh, wait, no, that's Kanan? Maybe?
Anya, it literally says it in the next line.
I didn't see it. I just saw that. I was looking at just the image, not reading it. I was like, wait, those tattoos. It looks like Kanan. He saw two figures.
Shit.
Yep, he saw two figures sprawled on the street several meters from the van. Hitomi and Kanan. Oh my gosh, was I right? Was I right? Did I make the right call? Or is Hitomi dead? I don't know. Hitomi, wake up! Achi cradled her in his arms and her eyes drifted open faintly. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Hitomi didn't appear to understand him. Her only response was a blank, dazed look. There was a small patch of red on her face. Achi wiped it gently away with a finger. He saw no further signs of bleeding. She must have been splattered by someone else's blood then. As far as he could tell, she hadn't been gravely injured. Achi let out a sigh of relief. Hitomi. Oh wait, no, that's Kanan.
Hitomi. Is she alright?
Oh, snap! Red Ginger Cat, thank you so much for the raid! Welcome, welcome, raiders! How's it going? I hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome,
Just a
welcome.
type of my terrible, nondescript European accent.
So true. It's so good. Oh, thank you for the shout out, Azure. Thank you. Kanan stirred on the ground. Her clothes were scorched in places and she was bleeding from her head. Kanan, did you save her?
Is she alright?
Yeah, what about her sister? Kanan didn't respond. No, it can't be. Achi went to look inside. Maria's fine. She's not dead. It's okay, guys. Amidst the smoke and the flames, he could make out the outline of a body. Oh, heck yeah! I need to play more of The Sims again. I used to play The Sims all the time when I was younger, but I haven't played it in years, and I kind of feel like playing it again someday. happened here? Achi had to look away.
Get Hitomi out of here. Hurry! If those guys show back up.
Kanan's face twisted up with pain. Alright. Kanan's so cool. Top tier. Achi settled Hitomi carefully in his arms.
Wait, I need to tell you something.
Kanan's pained gasp called him back.
I found.
I'm sorry, I think you mean Alucard. We're actually in a Castlevania.
I found these nuts.
Oh, thank you. See you around.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. No worries. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for the raid.
I found. That's the name of the mastermind. I'm sure it'll come up again if you keep pursuing this. But if you value your life, don't get involved with God any further. Now go.
Okay, and thanks. Oh my gosh, look at how cool Achi is in the shot. Cool guy Achi here. With Hitomi in his arms, Achi hurried from the scene. I want to be bridal carried. Wasn't sure where he was heading. He just wanted to get away, wherever that meant.
Oh, now you tell Azure that you want to be bridal carried.
What do you mean? I've always said that. It's one of my dreams.
Azure, how could you not do this? You had the opportunity.
He carried her past the crowd of onlookers that had swiftly begun to assemble. The flames of the burning van rose ever higher, roaring up towards the heavens. I'll do it next time I'm there, he said. Yo, we got to the end! I made so many good choices! Oh my god.
Except for going to where the door car will get
Yeah, well, but that was just bad luck on my part.
Yeah, Minor car should be unlocked now.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine now. Hey, look at us making progress. I feel like these chapters are faster now, but maybe that's... I'm just losing it. Minorikawa heard someone shout out a familiar name. Hitomi? It was a pretty common name. Ordinarily, he wouldn't have given it a second thought, but he remembered that one of the Miss Midoriyama winners was named Hitomi Osawa. That made him curious. A moment later, he heard a cell ringtone. He immediately recognized it as an Aya Kimiki song. His reporter instincts tingled. He stopped to take a look around, and one young woman caught his eye almost immediately. Yep. He couldn't assume that any pretty girl he saw was Miss Midoriyama. After all, it'd be a little too convenient if he just so happened to run into her now. Still, it didn't cost him anything to ask, "Are you Hitomi Osawa?" He might as well at least check, but to his own surprise, he hesitated in embarrassment. He'd never been too embarrassed to ask a question before. He didn't get a chance to contemplate that realization.
Kaboom!
Kaboom!
And I apologize now on stream, you were gonna say that several more times.
I mean, I'm guessing that,
because we're gonna get it from all different sides of the story. So
yeah.
Because this is a main point that happens for everybody.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is kind of like a sort of mini climax right now. A climactic scene that's kind of been, everything's kind of been leading up to this point, because the blue minivan has been like a thing since the beginning. And this is kind of like upping the stakes, you know, showing that this is serious. But also another thing, first off, I love all the live action footage we're getting. It's great. Love some good FMV footage. The other thing is that since apparently I did manage to get us to the right, like, version of events, we won't have to see it, like, more times than we need to.
yeah.
A deafening roar set his head throbbing. What was that? Or I guess you could say the thoughts as well.
What was that? What's going on?
He lay in a daze on the ground, trying to wrap his mind around what had just happened. Behind him, there was a minivan fiercely ablaze. A minivan? An explosion?
Minivan? Explosion?
The first thing to pop into his mind was the attempted bioterrorist attack on Kazumi Gaseki 2 years earlier. An unoccupied minivan had exploded outside an MPD station, and afterward, a device meant to scatter a dangerous biological agent had been discovered near the subway. In the end, no one had been harmed, but there were rumors that the government had paid a terrorist organization a hefty sum to keep it that way. Right now, Minorikawa was a stone's throw from the Shibuya precinct. Could this be a repeat of the Kazumi Gaseki attack? The entire area was in an uproar. People were running around in panic. Minorikawa could see several injured people lying on the ground and moving, and yet despite the gravity of the situation, numerous onlookers were casually taking photos with their cell phones. Minorikawa got to his feet, then went to try to get everyone away from the scene of the explosion.
Hey, you guys, get back! There could be another bomb!
Minorikawa looked around as he pushed back the crowd. He was getting the strong width of a scoop. He needed to write his copy ASAP, but he could just turn his back on this situation now. Two young men were strolling toward the burning vehicle. They had the look of juvenile delinquents. Whoa, what the heck? Is this for real? Ain't this dangerous, like for serious? The pair tried to find an optimal vantage point.
Hey, don't get any closer.
He spread his arms wide to hold them back. The young men came to a halt, but otherwise paid him no heed. Oh, this is bad. This is for real bad. Think this is a terrorist thing? Yo, get out your phone, come on. But like, you think this is a terrorist thing? Dude, shut up. Just hurry up and call Susumu. Oh, they're part of the team SOS.
Yeah.
The taller of the two, dressed in red, was ordering around his blue-clad companion. Huh? Man, do it yourself. Say what now? Bitch, this ain't no time to get yourself all worked up. Norikawa stood there, arms still held wide, getting more and more annoyed at their back and forth. Yo, just make the call, man. The young fellow in red scowled. He wasn't gonna back down. Huh? Yo, what difference does it make if I do it or you do it? It doesn't make any difference, so it don't matter if you do it. Yeah, right, it don't matter, so in that case, you do it. Look, I'm telling you to just make the damn call, and I'm telling you to just make it your damn self. Oh my god.
Oh, enough this already.
Minorikawa opened his mouth to tell him off, but then a young man in red spoke up again. Dude, the goods from over at Endo Electronics are gone. You gotta let Susumu know. The name Endo Electronics caught Minorikawa's attention. Huh? Yeah, but ain't that all that Achi dude's fault for getting all huffy at us? I mean, it was Kiryu who told us to go find the Endo storehouse. Yeah, but Susumu don't like dealing in stolen goods. Says it dirties the SOS name. Well, what a coincidence. Looked like these two were SOS members.
Hey, you two!
You finally succeeded in getting their attention.
Where's this super fellow? I'd like to talk to him.
He had no idea who Susumu was, having only heard the name just now. Still, from the way these two were talking, it seemed clear he held some position of leadership. You think I told you if I knew? Minorikawa kept his composure.
Listen, you guys know the Tenryu Gumi?
The Tenryu Gumi was a Yakuza syndicate that operated in Shibuya.
An up-and-coming Yakuza syndicate that turned up on the scene 10 years ago. The seemingly legitimate Takarada financing as its business run. The group offers monetary solutions for people in financial trouble. But those who accept their offers soon find their troubles only grow and grow. Involved in conflict with the Kanto Shirobine Umi, who have been long established in Shibuya.
These street kids were sure to be familiar with the name if nothing else.
I may not look it, but I'm pretty tired with the Tenryu Gumi. And maybe you two don't know it, but Suzumu's been showing up at their office a lot lately.
Suzumu's been dealing with the Yakuza? Whoa, for real sweet. The two punks bought it completely.
They always do.
Yep.
What's that SOS used to get his hang on these days? I've got a little safe to discuss with Suzumu.
Right now it's this bar called Inferno. Minorikawa made a mental note of the name.
Right, Inferno's where exactly?
The two young men suddenly looked distinctly uncomfortable. Uh-oh, later! Yeah, I got a thing I gotta do too. Backing away, they took off through the crowd.
Hey, wait up!
They saw Archie and freaked out.
I didn't know where Inferno is. Also, what are you eating in my ear, woman?
Oh, sorry, I'm eating some fruit. But the pair had already vanished. It's like grapes and melon and pineapple. Ambulances began arriving at the scene and paramedics rushed out to tend to the wounded.
It was me. Would you mind answering a few questions?
Oh, wait, excuse me, would you mind answering a few questions? Minorikawa turned to see a man in a suit approach him and flashing his badge. Okay, I don't have the jump yet because I haven't gone far enough yet.
Yep.
No, Azure, that's my pineapple. So, a detective with questions for him, huh?
But you answer a few questions for me. Was this an accident or an attack?
We still don't know many details.
Let me rephrase that for you. This is a major incident.
Huh?
Been around the block a few times and I know all your police yelling them, and when you start talking about the details, That is 100% indicative of a major incident.
Brushing aside Minorikawa's remark, the detective tried another question. Did you happen to notice anything unusual prior to the explosion?
Unusual?
Minorikawa thought back to the moments before the minivan blew up.
Now you mention it, I think I heard a cell phone ringtone.
Yeah, because I've know this from like cop shows and stuff that apparently you can rig a bomb to go off if a certain like ringtone is used or whatever.
Yes.
The detective tilted his head. A ringtone?
No, never mind, forget that. There's no way the ringtone in someone's phone would be audible through all that.
Minorikawa struck the thought from his own mind as he said it. In all likelihood, he associated the ringtone to the explosion simply because one had happened right before the other. Kano. A large-statured Caucasian man had called out to the detective. Evidently, the detective's name was Kano. Thank you for your cooperation. Then he ran over to the foreigner. Mr. Minorikawa! It's Miku. Minorikawa turned at the female voice behind him. He found Miku standing there. She looked like she'd been crying.
Ringtone, about earlier,
He trailed off, searching for an apology. It's okay, that doesn't matter right now. Miku looked around the scene. Minorikawa followed her gaze.
something big went down here.
I know. The explosion. I saw it happen with my own eyes.
You what?
Miku looked around nervously.
Are you alright? You're not hurt, are you?
I'm okay. My ears are still ringing a bit, is all.
Right. What did you say at the time of the explosion?
Miku assumed a thoughtful expression. There was this girl who was running toward the minivan, and then I think I saw this other Middle Eastern girl suddenly make a dive for her, and then the van just exploded.
Oh, so if I'm getting this right, it sounds like this Middle Eastern girl. Say the girl who was running up to the van?
Miku nodded. Just then, Minorikawa's phone chimed. He'd received an email. It was from Chiaki. Mr. Mino, are you still working on your copy? He checked his watch. At this point, the 4 o'clock deadline was barely 20 minutes away. Nevertheless, he decided to stay at the bomb scene. He could definitely smell a scoop here, he was sure of it. Even if he could get his 6 pages done by 4, landing a major scoop should be enough to persuade the loan company. Minorikawa jotted his phone number down and handed it to Miku.
I'll make things up to you. Give you a call later.
Miku took the scrap of paper puzzled.
You're looking for an IQ Jiu-Jitsu dojo, I know a few.
At that, her face lit up.
Yeah, you could have told her this like half an hour ago.
Yeah.
And none of this happened.
Well, he definitely, like, is the type that sometimes gets, like, too, like, in the zone. And, like, when people try and get him out of that zone, he gets real upset that people are taking him out of that zone. And then he regrets it after the fact.
I feel that.
Yeah. Relatable. Minorikawa decided to process the scene for clues. As he wandered around, he caught sight of Detective Kano and his Caucasian colleague heading down an alley.
What's that I smell? Something pretty damn fishy.
If they were slipping away for a private conversation, maybe there was some way he could listen in. Minorikawa hurried into one of the buildings that bordered the alley. He looked around and found a public bathroom upstairs on the alley side of the building. Hoping beyond hope, he slipped up to the bathroom window. Voices outside. He held his breath and listened. I don't know who's talking. Okay, those international criminals you mentioned? Kano's words were faint, but he could make them out. Minorikawa did a little fist bump. Correct. Roughly 8 hours ago, they infected Maria Osawa with the UA virus. Then, they let her loose somewhere in Shibuya. Hold on. By UA, you mean... The discussion involved some terms Minorikawa wasn't familiar with. He focused all of his mental energy on what the two were saying. This is a killer virus with a 100% mortality rate once it takes hold.
100%.
The shock caused him to unclench the fist he didn't realize he made. This wasn't just an interesting conversation, it was monumental. It has an incubation period of 12 hours. In another 4 hours, Maria Osawa will go symptomatic. After that, she'll begin spreading the virus through the city. It's capable of airborne transmission? If we don't administer Kenji Osawa's antiviral before she develops symptoms, yes, everyone in Shibuya is going to die. So wait, so is Maria also infected then? I thought it was that Hitomi got infected and then she got like the she got the cure and now they're trying to catch her so they can get the cure from her. But I guess it would make sense why they kidnapped Maria and then let her go would be because they may have tried infecting her too and now like she's wandering around with the infection. But then I feel like Toteno would have done something if that were the case instead of just letting her go. Minorikawa felt goosebumps rise all over his body. If they were talking about a virus in a Kenji Osawa, they could only mean that Kenji Osawa. He recalled what Osawa had said earlier about the power balance of the world being at stake. There was no doubt about it. This was a tremendous scoop. Well then, we need to find Maria Osawa and get the antiviral to her as soon as possible. Just calm down. There's more to the story that... Oh, it's starting to leak out. The door swung open loudly and someone came barging into the bathroom. Oh! Oh, it's starting to leak out! Ah!
It was Yanagashita.
Why him again? Why here of all place?
Oh, I'm leaking here!
Yanagashita was on the verge of hysterics. His voice must have been audible outside. Kano and his companion went to take their discussion elsewhere. And they'd just been getting to the good part of Yanagashita.
You son of a bitch!
Enraged, Minorikawa grabbed Yanagashita and tossed him to the floor.
I'm leaking!
Shut your mouth!
Put all of his strength into an ankle hold and give it a good twist. A professional wrestling technique that involves randomly pulling by the ankle. Being caught up like this can be extremely painful. It also puts pressure on the lower body. If you already find the urge to urinate, well, you're gonna piss yourself.
Oh no. Ah! Ah!
Nurkar left the idiot blubbering in the bathroom and hurried out the building. He hadn't heard the whole discussion, but he had a scoop in his hands anyway. This could be a tremendous score for Heaven Publishing, just to let the company rebuild. He was certain of it. And if I'm the one saying it, it's gotta be true. As he ran along, Minoru tried to plan his next steps. First, he'd get back to the editing office. He'd explain the situation to the people in the loan company. Then he'd go find that paperwork for Urasawa and have Chiaki check his copy. And then, after that, okay, so he still has a lot of things to do. He swallowed himself in both cheeks to get himself psyched up. Phone rang, it was Chuck.
Mr. Mino, something terrible has happened.
Chucky's voice was a broken yelp.
Whoa, calm down.
Over on Cohen Dory, this minivan exploded.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware. I was there. Thanks to that, I had a big scoop that...
Chucky cut him off.
Just now, I got a call from Mr. Toyama's daughter, Hana.
This time, Minoru waited for it to finish. He had a secret feeling.
She said that Mr. Toyama was in there. It was a suicide.
Minoru's knees buckled.
Tell me you're joking.
No, I mean, the van explosion is all over the news, and Hana was in tears on the phone, and... Mr. Mino? Mr. Mino, are you still there?
Toyama had killed himself? Minoru felt the energy drain from his body.
Oh, snap.
This is the source of contention, Paul, because some people are going to think, because we don't know yet whose body was in that explosion.
Yeah.
And some people are going to think it's Maria. Obviously, he gets told it's Toyama, but simply don't know who it is.
Yep. Okay, so we got that one. Let's do... Let's do Kano then. And then Maria. And then Osawa. And finish up all that. Oh my god, that means we're gonna see this. We're gonna see it again!
Yep.
There's no ordinary city noise. Explosion. There they go. It's still so funny. He's just very out of character for his character to be like, ooh. And Kano saw flames. Someone had set off an explosion. We saw this already. There was someone inside. It wasn't Hitomi.
Not for here either.
Yeah, it's... Oh, there's the keep out. I wonder if that's where I have to jump from. Because, one of the... I think it was this was the jump. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Wee! Wee! You've done it. Several people were on the ground nearby, evidently injured by the explosion. A girl in a hoodie was crouched among them, doing her best to tend their injuries.
Miku Murata was walking along, upset with Nora Cry for not introducing her to an Aiki Jiu-Jitsu dojo. She happened across the aftermath of the minivan explosion. Unnoticed an idly by when faced by security, she pitched in as best she could to help the wounded.
There's no reason to jump, but yeah. Keno recognized her as the girl he talked to earlier during the traffic jam. Police! Get back! Let me handle this! The girl was visibly relieved. Help her! She pointed to a figure lying on the sidewalk a short distance from the burning minivan. It was a Middle Eastern girl. She appeared to be unconscious. I think she got hurt rescuing another girl about college age, the girl in the hoodie said. A college age girl? That might be Hitomi. What happened to the girl she saved? The Good Samaritan looked around. Huh? Where'd she go? The rescuee had disappeared. This girl here, the girl in the hoodie gestured toward the fallen girl. I can't believe how fast she was. She spoke with a hint of awe. The way she moved to get to that other girl, she was on a level way beyond mine. Kano took another look at the injured girl. Her figure looked rather delicate. It was hard to believe she was capable of great feats of athleticism. He started toward her, but Stanley stepped ahead of him. Leave this to me. His expression was unusually stern, even for him. Do you know her? The American did answer as he checked the girl's pulse and then her pupils. Hey, Stanley. Don't you have other things you should be doing? Fine, then. Kano decided to collect some eyewitness accounts. Patrol cars and ambulances arrived at the scene in a steady stream. Once the vehicle fire was under control, things gradually began to calm down. Several officers worked to cover the area around the burned minivan with a blue tarp. Kano got his questioning underway, started by flashing his badge at a man near the front of the crowd. And we saw this. I sure picked the wrong guy to try and talk to. The man was probably right, but somehow the idea nagged at Kano. He jotted down a note in his pad. With Stanley, perfect timing. Then he hurried on his way. Stanley stepped in close enough to whisper. Who was that guy? An eyewitness to the explosion, apparently. Did he have any info? He said he heard a cell phone ringtone at the time of the explosion. Not sure if that's significant, though. Stanley stood silently for a moment, thinking. What about that girl? Has she woken up? No. I'm going to drive her to the hospital. Huh? Why do that yourself? Just look around. He cast his eyes out over the scene. There were still many injured people lying on the roadside. Azure Redeem skipped next 20 lines. It seemed the authorities had sent enough ambulances. But isn't your car back in Maruyamacho? Under the circumstances, I think it makes sense for me to go back for it, Stanley replied coolly. Besides, I have a few things I'd like to ask her. Kano was curious. You do? Stanley's cell rang. Yes. As he listened, his demeanor changed. The blood drained from his face, and his hand began to tremble slightly as he gripped the phone. Kano had never seen him this shaken up. You got it. He hung up the phone and let out a sigh. What is it? Stanley headed into an alley without responding. Kano hurried after him. Once they were out of earshot of the crowd, Stanley finally spoke. That call right now was from Gordon Freeman, my superior. He broke off there for a long while, was silent. It turns out that 428 Shibuya Scramble is in the same universe as Half-Life.
I knew it.
He appeared to be struggling with some strong emotion. I mean, we know that he does tell us about it, but I also don't want to press him too much when he seems to actually be struggling. Hi, Rolf. Welcome to the stream. How's it
Hello.
going? I love ya. Welcome.
One. Yeah, we go.
If it's that difficult to talk about, you don't have to. No, I should tell you this. We were contacted on our end by the mastermind of this plot. Alfard, or whatever his name is. Those international criminals you mentioned? Correct. Roughly 8 hours ago. They infected Maria Osawa with the Ua virus. Then they let her loose somewhere in Shibuya. Okay. Are they just saying that they infected her, but in reality they infected Hitomi, or did they infect both of them? I thought that the whole thing was that they accidentally kidnapped Maria when they meant to kidnap Hitomi, because Hitomi was infected, and then she was given the antidote, and they want the antidote, which is why they did the whole infecting thing in the first place, but then they accidentally grabbed Maria instead of Hitomi, because they Maria went in her stead to the party and convinced Hitomi to stay behind, and then they were like, oh shoot, we got the wrong person. But did they then infect her as well, and then that's why they let her just roam free after that, hoping that she would spread the virus? Or is this like them getting the wrong information?
I don't know. Either way, you're confusing yourself.
Yeah. I mean, at least we know for a fact that Hitomi was infected, and that Osawa gave the antidote to Hitomi with the help of Tanaka, because Tanaka was the one that infected her, and now like some of those criminals are wanting Hitomi for that. So we know that that's all a fact. But whether they accidentally got Maria or if they did and then decide to utilize it to their advantage, we don't really know yet. But this is what he's been told.
Yeah, everybody's been told different, varying pieces of information.
Yeah, and we'll find out as time goes on what the
Because
truth
everybody's got a Batman gambit in this fucking game.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, we're finding out. Well, I think what's kind of cool is that this game is also like, because it's like a lot of stories will have like, there's this person who planned the whole entire thing or whatever, and it's been going to that plan. Whereas in this game, there's a lot of things that have been thrown, like wrenches thrown into the equation, because other people have been making their own choices that have affected what the whole thing is going on.
Yep. And that's why every single person in this is a very unreliable narrator.
Yeah. Because nobody knows what is fully going on, because everybody is doing their own
Not
thing.
even the characters themselves.
Yeah.
That this is about. So,
Yep.
like, half the story, Maria didn't even know who she was. So,
Yep. Makes sense, Rolf. Like, I don't know. I enjoy playing Inquisition, but I also just like doing games sometimes where it's just doing, like, repetitive tasks like that. Like, I find it relaxing. What was that, Lulu?
I like switching my brain off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I see games like Dragon Age Inquisition or Dragon Age 2 or, like, some other games as, like, truly, relaxing games for me. Because, like, people will say, like, oh, stuff like Stardew Valley or whatever is supposed to be relaxing, but I find those stressful. Like, I find games like that stressful because I have to, like, think about what I'm doing and stuff, and I'm like, oh, there's so much to do, and I don't know what to do. Whereas with stuff like Dragon Age Inquisition, it doesn't matter. You just do the tasks, and it doesn't matter which order you do it. You have endless amount of time. You're totally fine. There's no rush. It's just really relaxing to me. Yeah, exactly, Rolf. It's just like, I'll just like walk around and I'll just zone out while playing it, and I feel fully relaxed.
And that's why autism is a spectrum.
Yeah. Yep. But it's just so jarring playing this right after Baldur's Gate 3 and see the differences in how interesting the NPCs and quests are. Yeah. So true. I still need to play Baldur's Gate 3. It's definitely on my wish list. It's one of the many games on my wish list. At some point I'll play it. I know as soon as I get it, it's gonna take over my whole life for a while. Yeah, and we heard this convo before. Mortality rate, and we know that Minorikawa's upstairs in a bathroom hearing about all this. It has an incubation period of 12 hours. Blah 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 blah.
Following the onset of symptoms, the individuals infected with the Eurovirus bleed from the lungs. The virus is readily released in the air via coughing. The Eurovirus is highly resilient in the open air and can survive even after saliva or other fluids have evaporated. Simply getting within 2 meters of a is said to carry a high risk of infection. Body fluids from deceased patients carry an especially high concentration of the virus, and anything contaminated within such fluids must be thoroughly sterilized before it's safe.
Crazy.
So don't go near simps, guys. They'll infect you too.
Yeah, I gotta stay away. Yeah, Shibuya Scramble will never end, it's true. We're here forever. Now,
That's
we're
the
making...
game that never ends.
But yeah, I think we're like about halfway or a little more than halfway through at this point, so we're definitely making progress. It's just taking a long while because, first of all, I'm only streaming it once per week for a few hours each week. And with us,
Yep.
like, talking and, like, voice acting everything, it takes even longer.
It takes longer.
Yeah.
Yes, this is like a little bit over halfway.
One Piece will end before y'all finish.
No, it fucking won't. You know that.
Everyone in Shibuya is going to die. Stanley, remain cool. Just calm down. There's more to the story that... Stanley was interrupted by a strange sound from the upper floors of a nearby building. Unsure of what it was, the two men hurriedly relocated. Half-Life 3 will come out before this game ends. Silk Song still won't, though.
I doubt that too.
They paused when they came to a vacant lot. It's the lot from Yakuza.
The million yen. The million yen.
Yep. The place was deserted. No need to worry about being overheard here. You said there was more to the story? The antiviral in question is stored in Kenji Osawa's laboratory. The lab is protected by a sophisticated security system, and apparently the storage area where the drug is kept requires fingerprint authentication from both Osawa and Tanaka. Silk Song isn't a real game, just a mass hallucination. So true. What? But Tanaka's... Kano couldn't help but gasp. Tanaka was currently a fugitive, the prime suspect in the kidnapping case. There was no chance of getting any fingerprint authorization from him at this stage. Is there any other way to get in? The door can also be unlocked via password in place of a fingerprint scanner, but we'd still need to know what Tanaka chose for his password. No.
I still love I-6969.
Heck yeah.
The beauty twins. Oh, my baby is Minato Sawa's.
That's a long password.
Too.
That's a long password. In any event, it's essential that we track down and secure Maria, but he went on his voice grave. Even if we get Maria to safety, the mastermind is now in possession of the Uwa virus. If they want to, they can unleash a bioterrorist attack on Shibuya at any time. To put it bluntly, the lives of every man, woman, and child in the city are in their hands. Kano felt a pulse of fear deep enough to give him vertigo. He slowly tilted his head and gazed at the sky, vast and blue as always. There had to be tens of thousands of people in Shibuya right now. Rumi and Shizuo were among them, and they might all be dead within a day. It felt so unreal, Kano's mind almost couldn't process it. With an effort of will, he shook himself out of his daze. Now was no time to waver. We have to try. In the next 4 hours, we need to find Maria Osawa and figure out a way to stop this mastermind and the Uwa virus. The words were as much for himself as they were for his companion. Let's do this, Stanley! We might not always see eye to eye, but together I feel like you and I can find a way. And then they kiss. No, but Stanley averted his gaze. My job here is simply to apprehend the mastermind. Kano felt a resurgence of his earlier anger at Stanley. Once again, he was putting his duties above human life. I'm sorry. Stanley's voice was a quiet mutter. You should get away from Shibuya as soon as possible, Kano. Kano had imagined it. What was that?
I love you.
I love you. Exactly. Kano had imagined that the American would ever be worried for him. I appreciate the warning, but I'm seeing this through to the end. This isn't the sort of thing you can solve with just an effort of willpower. Even so, giving up isn't the Japanese detective way. Stanley Stanley let out a nasal chuckle. Back to that again, are we? Same to you. Kano managed a tiny chuckle of his own. I'm starting to trip over all my words.
Tunnel.
Oh,
a tunnel.
Exactly. Heck yeah, sure, I'm glad it's cooling down.
Oh, yeah, as long as you didn't take any insects in.
Yeah. Listen, this is just between you and me. The mastermind behind this kidnapping case is an arms dealer who goes by the name Alphard.
Beyond simply selling weapons, illegal arms dealers are also frequently involved in smuggling weapons unlawfully obtained through deals with government or military contracts. In recent years, such enterprises have become increasingly globalized. Some dealers form smuggling networks that also deal in money laundering, drug trafficking, and more. And this released the same year as Metal Gear Solid 4. Anyone who knows, you know.
Yeah. Alphard, the attempted bioterrorist attack on Kazumi Gaseki, a hotel bombing in Chicago. Alphard had a hand in all of them. What do you know about this criminal? Stanley's expression grew even darker. Now, I only left it open for a bit. If an insect comes in, it'll come in through the front door or garage or something. Oof. Big hugs. Alphard's signature is extremely meticulous planning. But I don't mean meticulous in the same way you or I might normally think of it. Their plans are perfectly imperfect. Do you get what I mean? Yeah.
It's just the Batman gambit.
Yeah, I think Kanan was talking a bit about this earlier too, of like setting up multiple traps, and like all that needs to happen is at least one gets hit to like have it work. Alphard deliberately engineers accidents to make things complicated and unpredictable. It's difficult to get a good grasp of what's going on when the situation seems to be falling apart. People tend not to consider that coincidental mishaps might be anything but. In the end, they don't even realize that we're playing right into the mastermind's hands all along. Kano could hear the intensity in Stanley's voice. I'm afraid that's all I could say. Stanley held out his right hand. See you around, Kano. If we're still alive. If we're still alive. Kind of let that sink in for a moment. Nah. I'll shake your hand after we finish this case. With a slight smile, Stanley withdrew his hand. And the two bumped fists instead. Ayo. Alright. We'll meet again, Kano. I'm sure of it. Yeah, see you then. No sooner had Stanley departed than Kuze's voice came in over the wireless. Attention all units! As of now, further investigation on the kidnapping case is suspended. The director's voice sounded strangely cold. I repeat, as of now, further investigation on the kidnapping case is suspended. Wait, hold on, sir? What is it, Kano? Could you let us know why? We've received information that Maria Osawa has been infected with an unknown virus and has been released somewhere in Shibuya. That matched up with what Stanley had said earlier. An anti-bioterrorism security force will probably be deployed in Shibuya.
Terrorism involving biological agents such as bacteria or viruses. Biological weapons are easier to acquire and transport than nuclear weapons because they rely on organisms' natural ability to proliferate or infect. They can yield powerful results for low effort. For these reasons, the possibility that such weapons might be used by terrorists. In the event that a bioterrorist attack occurred in Japan, temporary quarantine and decontamination facilities would be set up in an area affected.
Yeah, this is a great angle. This is no longer a simple kidnapping case. Our part in this is finished. No, it's not. We haven't managed to resolve anything. Kano, I assure you everyone else feels the same as you do. Kuze's voice had a cautionary tone. They're still performing the autopsy on the body found in the blue minivan that exploded. I'll let you know once we have a positive ID. Kuze out. Director! But the line had already gone dead. Kano, you're on your own. Left at a loss, Kano gazed out at the cityscape. The sight of the bomb vehicle had calmed down briefly, but now that the news networks had begun reporting, the herd of onlookers was growing. There was also a sizable crowd gathered outside of a large home electronics store. The large LCD televisions on display were showing a press conference being held by the governor of Tokyo. Kano might learn something new about the case. He decided to watch the broadcast. Closely with the administration, we are keeping a careful eye on the situation as it develops. The governor's expression was solemn as he spoke. The moment he finished his statement, the reporters bombed him with questions. This seems to be similar to the bioterrorist attack on Kazumi Gaseki 2 years ago. Is there any possible connection? What countermeasures do we have in the event that Shibuya is the target of bioterrorism? The governor was visibly disconcerted. If this does turn out to be a bioterrorist attack, we will establish emergency shelters with a large-scale quarantine station at Yoyogi Park. However, there are still many details that remain unknown. The politician was clearly struggling to maintain his composure. Can you comment on the rumors we're hearing that the Shibuya might be blockaded off? Don't be ridiculous. What outlet are you with? Are you trying to start a panic when we don't even know all the details? Besides, it wouldn't even be possible to blockade the whole Shibuya. The press conference continued. The governor and the reporters locked in a belligerent back and forth. Kana left the electronics store and headed to the cafe where Rumi and Shizuo were waiting. He had to tell them both to get far away from Shibuya. The Cafe Lautrec seemed quiet when Kano arrived. Shizuo was sitting alone. Kano scanned the establishment but didn't see Rumi anywhere. One of the staff greeted him. Welcome. Just one, sir? No. I'm meeting someone, actually. Of course, sir. The hostess smiled and then went on her way. Shizuo was glaring at him. Kano walked over to him and bowed deeply. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Sure.
Sure.
Shinya Kano.
You look more like of a knuckle dragger than I thought.
What the heck is a knuckle dragger?
Like a gorilla.
Oh. Shizuo maintained his appraising stare.
It does have kind of a racist connotation when you say it to anybody else.
I see. Well, I mean, makes sense. Rumi had something Oh wait, no, this is you.
Rumi had something to do. She needed to do, so she stepped away for a while.
Kano sat down across from him. There was a laptop computer open on the table.
Right now the laptop is in sleep mode, and there's nothing on the monitor, but just before Kano came in, Shizuo was browsing an internet forum. Takes his user handle from a nickname for apples he grows on his own farm, which are pretty little things, nearly as sweet as honey.
He's the mystery person that everyone thinks is the one girl, the one young girl that's on there, but actually it's him.
Yes. Yes, he is that person, yes.
Yeah. I can't remember the full name, but I remembered Honey was in it, and so as soon as they said Honey, I was like, oh, he's the one. He's the guy.
It's like honey apple girl or something like that, so
yeah. And there's like a term for it, but I can't remember what it is. It's mentioned in Loving Yamada-kun at level 999. Because there's a character in it that also plays as a girl character online, but is a guy IRL. And there's like a term for it, but I don't remember what it is. The waitress came by to take Kano's order, so he asked for an iced coffee. What are you using the computer for?
I'm on the internet. I'm totally not on a website that is about a pop star or anything like that. Not at all. Pretending to be a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah. This cafe has an internet connection? May as well start with a little small talk. So what? Again, Shizuo
So what?
Again, Shizuo glared at Kano. The words wouldn't come. No, actually, this is no time to be making idle chit-chat. If they got infected with the virus, Rumi and Shizuo might die. Look. Please, you need to leave Shibuya right away. Shizuo's face contorted with confusion.
What are you talking about? Why?
Kano wasn't sure if he should tell the truth or not. He was strictly prohibited from discussing a case with anyone outside of the department. As a former policeman himself, Shizuo ought to understand full well the secrecy of an investigation required. But it wasn't like he'd just up and leave town without a good reason. Please listen. I feel like Kano would tell the truth. There's a risk of...
What's that?
What I mean is bio risk of, Shizuo pounded his fist on the table.
Bring it out!
Kano just couldn't say it. It didn't matter who he was talking to. He couldn't make himself leak the details of an ongoing investigation. Besides, there was no guarantee a bioterrorist attack would actually happen. If they could just find and secure Maria Osawa before she went symptomatic.
Does this have something to do with the case you're working?
Huh?
You're telling me to leave Shibuya? Does that have something to do with your case?
Yes.
So why don't you run off with Ruby then?
Shizuo's tone was frank. Well, I mean, when Kano didn't have an answer handy, Shizuo let out a single heavy sigh.
Is your work important to you?
Kano hesitated.
Is it more important than Rumi?
Well, again, Shizuo cut Kano off as he waffled over how to answer.
Me, I used to put my work before my family. There's no question in my mind that combating society's ills in some cases was worth any price. Because of that, I did some pretty reckless things. Almost wound up dead more than once.
Shizuo paused, a forlorn look in his eyes, which is all why he's been against having Kano and Rumi end up together, probably because he sees like his own mistakes there.
My wife did nothing but worry about me, so much that I didn't even realize that she'd worried herself sick. I was so caught up in my work that I wasn't even there for her when she finally passed away. It was all so very absurd of me.
The waitress came by and set Kano's iced coffee on the table. It sat there untouched until Shizuo looked at it pointedly. With a tiny nod, Kano brought the cup to his lips. The bittersweet liquid was a balm to his parched throat.
I told Rumi the same story, but I didn't tell her how absurd it was. I told her that her father only did what he had to do.
He took a sip from his glass of water.
Rumi, she's very much like her mother used to be. The personalities are almost identical, and I don't want her to suffer the same way my wife did.
Shizuo's fist unclenched in his lap. What? I think you're the first one. Lulu. I can't believe Lulu died.
What was it that made you become a detective in the first place?
Hey, Lulu, you're back. I missed ya.
Yeah, this one is cutting out, sir.
I see. Well, at first I got the job because I thought it would make Rumi happy, and then I guess also because I thought it'd make you like me, sir. It was the truth, but Shizuo simply chuckled.
If your goal is to get me to like you, you may as well give up now. True.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't do that.
Are you this stubborn around Rumi?
I love your daughter, sir. I want to keep her safe, to make her happy.
And why is that?
Whenever I think about her, I just feel so amazing. I'm sure that you or anyone can empathize with that. Everyone has someone they want to protect who makes them feel that good.
It's an admirable thing, wanting to be a detective and protect the happiness of people, but that doesn't mean you need to ignore your own happiness in the process.
What you say may be true, sir. Earlier today, my partner was stabbed, and today's his wife's birthday. Shizuo arched his brow.
Is he going to make it?
We're not sure yet. Last I knew, he was in critical condition.
This is why I keep saying that life as a detective is...
Shizuo's words trailed off into a lamenting murmur. Even so, Kano was unmoved. Dictum number 1. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever.
What's that?
Something that a senior detective I admire very much said. It's the fundamental guiding principle I've stuck to as a detective, but I was wrong about the real meaning behind it. My partner was stabbed, there are people I want to rescue, so much has happened, and now I finally understand what those words mean. When you see someone in trouble, you help them. That's not something a good detective does, that's something a good person does. Kano took a good long look at Shizuo's face. He had surprised himself, finding the words to speak his feelings so clearly, and he wondered what effect it had on the older man. I'm sure that, from your perspective as my future father-in-law, my being a detective means that I'm putting my life on the line. But that's not entirely true. I can only be myself. This is the kind of person I am. I care about helping people. Even if I were a baker or a brewer or a bookseller, I'd still act the same way.
You're being ridiculous. A baker and a detective don't receive anywhere near the same risks.
I suppose that's true.
I don't know, because it doesn't matter what kind of thing you're in. Like, if you're in a store or if you're in a food place, there's always a heavy risk that you are going to get assaulted or murdered. So
Yeah.
It's the same. I feel like it's the same way. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you
Except
are.
as a detective, you're putting yourself in that, whereas as a baker, etc., it's happening to you rather
Yeah,
than you putting yourself at risk.
yeah. Well, I don't know, because you're choosing to work there every day.
Yeah, you're choosing to work at these different places.
Yeah, so there's always that choice. In the end, like, no
There's
matter
always
what.
the choice, there's always the risk, no matter
Yeah,
what you do.
yeah. Kind of fussed with his hair sheepishly.
I think I see what kind of man you are now.
He sounded oddly defeated.
Which is why now is no time to just futz around.
Kind of sat up straighter
Yeah,
and
yeah, we've been talking for like 30 minutes.
yeah. Kind of
We
said,
need to, you need to get out, like I said, go.
yeah, and solve this mystery. Save the town. Kind of sat up straighter as Shizuo's weighty tone.
A detective needs more than passion. A detective can't solve all his problems with sheer determination alone. But at the same time, he needs more than just the ability to coldly assess a situation. He needs the conviction to stick to a case when it might otherwise seem prudent to give up.
There was something new in Shizuo's expression now, and a gleam in his eyes that hadn't been there before. Kind of almost felt like he was being sermonized to by a senior officer.
Well, you are, technically.
Yeah.
But that, you need cool mind but a fiery spirit. Detective without both of those is worth nothing.
Do you mind if I write that down in my notebook here?
Look. Aren't you in a hurry? Don't you have to get back to your case?
Yes, and sir, please, I need you and your daughter to leave Shibuya right away.
Yeah, I hear ya, I hear ya.
Kind of conjured up Rumi's face in his mind. There was a chance he might never see her again. He forced the thought away as best he could. By the way,
if I may ask, what was it about Rumi that made you fall in love with her?
what? Where is this coming from all of a sudden?
Was it her looks?
No, it wasn't just that. Kano found himself tongue-tied again.
I mean, she is pretty cute. If she wasn't my daughter,
Oh, God!
even if this is my own daughter I'm talking about.
Shizuo shocked him by grinning from ear to ear. Well, yes, she sure is, but it's more than just that. She's also very sweet and kind-hearted.
She is, isn't she?
Yeah, she really is. For the first time, Kano and Shizuo smiled at one another.
You're a man who lets his emotions show in his face. And for a detective, that's not so bad. Even Anya could be a detective.
Heck yeah. Thank you, sir. He bowed to Shizuo as he stood up from his seat.
Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect, huh? I like that. Wise words indeed.
Kano turned to look back and then bowed deeply to Shizuo one last time. That was a nice scene.
Who's gonna play Slay the Spire this time?
Yeah. The ability to coldly assess a situation. Kano knew what he needed to do. There was one thing that was nagging him. No matter how hard he thought about it, it still didn't add up. Why would Tateno let Al Karwan go free? He needed to go back to the precinct and get the truth from Al Karwan firsthand. As he walked along, he considered what he did know about the facts of the case. Just what sort of plan had Alfar put into motion here? It seemed that Tanaka and Osawa held the keys to understanding it. there had been relay handoffs of the phony attaché case, a relay that Tanaka had been complicit in. Then there was Hitomi missing, carrying the antiviral. Osawa had confirmed that himself. So we have a jump here that we can't do because we haven't gone far enough with Osawa. Kano was starting to form a vague picture of what Alphard was up to. If the mastermind's goal was to acquire the antiviral, then obtaining the cooperation of Osawa and Tanaka was vital to that plan. After all, their fingerprint verification was required to physically access the drug. In order to overcome that hurdle, Alfred had presumably managed to win over Tanaka somehow, and had then kidnapped Maria Osawa to provide leverage against her father. No doubt that was how they got Hitomi to take the antiviral with her to Hachiko. While the police were distracted by following the attaché case, Alfard would then take the antiviral from Hitomi. That was the general plan as far as Kano could surmise. Just then, a call from Kuze came in over the wireless. We've identified the body found inside the blown-up minivan! Kano's hand tingled as it gripped the wireless. Mamoru Tanaka, male, 40 years old. An employee of Okoshi Pharmaceutical. Positive ID was obtained for the subject's personal belongings. I did call him Alpharad on accident. I can't believe Alpharad is in this game and he is the main villain. Actually, no, I can't believe it.
It's very easy to do that. 'Cause
I mean,
it's basically spelled the same.
Yeah. And he also, like, it all makes sense because he is kind of like a villain sometimes in his own videos, so. Nope. Nani? If Tanaka was dead, it would now be almost impossible to access the antiviral drug in the laboratory. At this point, the only antiviral they had any chance of obtaining was whatever Hitomi was carrying. Kano thought back to what Staley had said earlier. Even if we get Maria to safety, the mastermind is in possession of the Ua virus. If they want to, they can unleash a bioterrorist attack on Shibuya at any time. To put it bluntly, the lives of every man, woman, and child in the city are in their hands. Oh, frick. No. A chill ran down Kano's spine. If someone did release the Ua virus, there would be no way to stop it from spreading. If Alphard really was planning a bioterror attack, Shibuya would well and truly become a city of the dead. He couldn't help but feel that the whole department was playing right into Alphard's hands. Kano staggered, physically stricken by the realization of just how terrifying a foe they were up against. But don't worry, Kano, you're not alone! You're not alone! There's a whole squad of people who are also trying to solve this mystery.
Yeah.
And together we will do it. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, should we... Osawa next, and then Maria? I'm thinking of ending with Maria this time around. I think we did see this already. Yeah, we did. Okay, there's the keep out. I don't understand why that wasn't there before. But we had the jump. I don't remember if it was this was where the
But
jump
it might be
was.
that we need to do Maria first.
Well, there's this jump.
Yep.
Yeah. Whee! I love this shot so much. It really shows the distance between them.
Yeah. Before the news was shared with the Osawas, the members of the investigation team quietly briefed Detective Kajiwara. Osawa and I sat on the sofa on the far side of the room watching. They could see Kajiwara go pale. He wiped the sweat from his forehead with the handkerchief several times. Bad news, Osawa thought.
Mr. Osawa, ma'am. You just got word from...
Kajiwara shuffled his way over to them at last.
You just got word from headquarters. Right now, the task force is in an uproar after a change in direction from the higher-ups. The detectives who were on the scene have been ordered to discontinue the kidnapping investigation. And that goes back to Kano. Oh my gosh, we're once again zooming in on his butt.
Yep. Osawa braced himself. Please, let's hear it.
It would seem that your daughter Maria is safe.
What? Osawa felt an unexpected surge of relief and just... You mean it?
The case has been solved? For a moment, they don't...
Remember, they almost sounded like a happily married couple. It was only the look on Kajiwara's face that gave him pause.
However, as of yet, we do not have her in custody.
I'm not sure I understand. You know she's alive, but you don't have her. How? Deep words appeared in Kajiwara's forehead.
I'm sorry, sir. The information we received from up top is complicated. We have confirmed that she was able to escape confinement. It's just...
The detective gave every parent's punishment back. There's something you need to tell us, then just say it.
It would seem that Maria has been infected with a virus.
Infected?
So basically, Maria now has a virus. So Hitomi needs to get to Maria in exchange, like give her own blood to Maria so that Maria doesn't die.
Dower felt as if the talent core had just clutched his heart.
It's not one I've ever heard of before, but apparently it's called the UA virus.
Asara's vision went dark. He felt as if he'd been plunged into the black void of despair.
Darling!
He didn't need to put her fears into words, Asara felt them just as plainly in his own gut.
You're an expert on virology, aren't you, Mr. Osawa? Are you familiar with the Zua virus? He made it.
Osawa held up a hand to forestall further questions. There was no time for that. How many hours ago was she infected?
I wasn't told that much. Is that important to know, sir?
Depending on when Maria was infected, we may or may not still be. Osawa trailed abruptly as the reality of the situation struck home. This wasn't the same as when Hitomi had been infected. Right now, there was no way of getting Tanaka's cooperation, which meant there was no way of accessing the antiviral storage. In other words, getting the cure to Maria would be impossible. Osawa's head swam. Detective Kajiwara, I beg of you, your people need to catch Tanaka as soon as possible. If you don't, something terrible is going to happen. Just then, Kajiwara's cell phone rang. He picked up quietly.
What did you say?
The detective's shout shattered the anxious silence that had fallen. Eyes shuddered visibly at the outburst. Kajiwara nodded sharply, still listening. More creases formed in his forehead.
Understood, I'll let them know.
Hung up, all eyes were on him.
That was headquarters.
Osawa swallowed the lump in his throat. He could feel himself quaking all over.
A minivan we believe belonged to the syndicate exploded near Jinan in Shibuya. A body was found amongst the burning wreckage of the vehicle.
Who was it? Tell me. Please don't let it be Maria. Please don't let it be Hitomi. Kajiwara let out a breath before speaking.
We conclusively identified the remains as Mr. Tanaka's. No!
The cry was visceral, almost bird-like. Osawa looked around in surprise. It was I. Well, who else would it be?
Yeah. It's not true! You're lying!
Her shrill screams reverberated through the room. And the Discord call, and the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Osawa felt like he wanted to scream too. With Tanaka dead, there was no way to get to the antiviral.
Yeah, this music.
Which meant that Maria was going to die.
No, because Hitomi has the basically she has the cure now in her own bloodstream, right? So can't you just, if you can find Hitomi, wouldn't Maria be okay?
Yes.
So I don't.
But everybody's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Assassin's gone quiet. Blah 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 blah. Just who am I? I ask myself again and again.
Yeah.
I am Slim Shady.
No, you are not dumb Azure. You're
You
the
are
best.
not. I am
Tama? Hitomi? Tama Hitomi?
How about you, Toby?
None of the above.
None of the above. None of this fit me at all. I turned at the sound of an exuberant voice and see Mr. Yanagishida running my way, flailing his arm in a friendly greeting. I swear this guy could wind up banished to the pits of hell. He's still giving his all, day in, day out.
I mean, he basically was, at one point, the real actor.
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness, it is you, Tama. I knew it.
The man with the cane grumbled some incoherent, then holstered his gun and flees the scene.
Hey, now you're with some middle-aged guy? You look so sweet and innocent, but I guess you kinda get around, huh?
Shut up, you.
Yeah.
Boss! Nice timing! I do a little fist bump. Whatever he's doing here, while he drove off that guy with the gun.
I really want to know what that t-shirt says. All I know is that at the end it says UT head. And I really want to know what the rest is. What are you so happy about?
Yanagashita gives me a puzzled look, but he's probably distracted by his own excitement.
Well, anyway, never mind that, Tama.
He shifts down to a conspiratorial posture.
You know, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I was in such a tizzy over some silly scratch card from a magazine.
I can tell his news is itching to tell me. Did something happen?
Well, tee-hee-hee.
He brings a hand to his mouth and giggles unsettlingly.
I had a great little idea, a great way to strike it rich.
I feel like I've heard this from you before. Mr. Yanagashita shakes his head fervently.
This time it's different. We're talking way more digits than before. Now try not to be too surprised, yeah?
Spittle flies from his mouth as he rattles on. Ew.
Or, it's okay to be surprised, actually. In fact, I'm guessing you're definitely gonna be amazed this time, Tama.
I can practically see the banknotes dancing in his eyes. Cut the chase already. What is it you want to tell me?
This time, get this. I got a line on 10 million yen.
He thrusts his index finger skyward, grinning ear to ear.
Surprise now, yeah you are, and it doesn't require any capital. It's no risk, high return. In a world of equity investment, a wise investor weighs risk against the potential for return. Many heavily risky projects, however, yield little in the way of actual return. Such cases are called high risk, low return. The inverse, low risk, high return, is quite rare. The idea of no risk, high return is simply absurd.
There's a crazy gleam in his eye.
Well, I do declare. Oh man, I'm finally gonna be a part of the Billionaires Club.
This is so ridiculous. I don't even have a snappy retort for it. Never mind that 10 million obviously wouldn't make him a billionaire.
By the way, you haven't seen Cheery, have you? We're gonna need her help to wrap up this 10 million yen.
Really? No, I haven't run into her since the sales demo.
Oh darn, well if you do happen to see her, tell her to get in touch with me.
Sure, alright. I still don't know what he's going on about, but there's probably no harm in being helpful.
Thank you, Tom. I guess I may as well give you a little hint.
A hint?
Yeah, a hint. Wanna hear it? Yes. Oh, sure. Thank you.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Well, then, I guess I've got no choice when you put it that way. I just have to tell you.
Mr. Yanagashita clears his throat and proceeds to claim in an affected tone.
When the mighty stomach triumphs over the endless cavalcade of icebergs, the hero shall be blessed with fame and fortune.
He almost had a haiku. Huh? What the heck is that supposed to mean? He looks inordinately amused at my confusion.
This image is great. It's part of a legend. You only need to remember that one verse for now. You're going to bear witness to history.
I feel like this guy's right out of some kind of story himself.
Anyway, thanks for helping me out with the cheery thing. Adios. Oh, yeah, this is me. Spanish for goodbye. The true meaning is closer to the English farewell. In day-to-day interactions, most Spanish speakers use the word ciao. Adios can carry the connotation that you do not expect to see the addressee again. And then
like a whirlwind, Mr. Yanagashida zooms away, leaving me alone in the alley.
I've never heard that, and I took a lot of Spanish classes, but then again, classes never really tell you all those specifics usually.
No, they do not. Like, I'm learning Dutch currently, and like, it gives you all of the really posh things, and like, literally none of the stuff that normal people would say.
Yeah. Well, it's like how a lot of people, when they learn English, they learn, like, British English. And then, like, that's not necessarily how everybody speaks it.
Not British English, but like, just like, perceived pronunciation English.
Yeah.
One that you get, like, someone speaking, like, when they're telling you the news and stuff.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
like every other way that people say things ever.
Yeah.
Which is why you can come off real posh and stuck up in an American accent. Suddenly I feel totally exhausted. I let out a sigh and dropped my eyes. That's when I noticed a notebook on the ground at my feet. Did the assassin drop this? I pick it up and look inside.
Rolf said, my English teacher used to dock me points for speaking American English instead of British English. What the heck?
Oh, well, that's bullshit.
What? It's so stupid.
That's so dumb. Like, so, because I'm from near Birmingham stuff, that's why I say, like, mom and stuff like that. So really, all they did was dock points to you for not being a posh English twat.
Yeah.
That's all they did. Because that saying mom and stuff like that is not only American, it was originally English.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a whole bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah. She also just hated me because I skipped class.
Oh, yeah, that would do it. That would do it. But I feel like that was a cause and effect anyway, because, like, why would you go to class if she's gonna dock you points anyway? Like, what's the point?
Yeah. Can't believe Rolf said color instead of color.
There's a photograph tucked inside the back cover. It shows 3 young people, 2 boys and a girl. Well, what do I do now?
Rolf said, didn't see the point in going since I was already basically fluent. Yeah, understandable. Especially since, like, class, like, a lot of times, like, they teach you all, like, the technical stuff about it, but in terms of actually being fluent in the language, classes don't really give you that.
Well, it's the fact that with the Dutch especially, and most of Europe, is that you get taught English, and you also, well, especially with Dutch, is that they get English programming from a younger age as well. So you were raised around English, so by the time that you come to learning English in school, it's kind of pointless, because you've already been learning it your entire life by that point.
Yeah. Rolf said, previous English teacher let me just read fantasy novels in class. This one didn't, so I stopped showing up. Understandable. Especially since they thought that it was totally fair to be so particular about what type of English was used.
Well, Rolf, you say that, but I have so many issues with Dutch. I'm gonna murder the language. I have so many issues with when neat goes and when hein goes. Hein, hein. I can't even say it. And now I'm learning to say when people are doing stuff in the past. And like I've got to put certain words at the end, and I'm like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, learning languages is hard.
Dutch can be fun to learn, but I hate Dutch because it changes all the time. It
Yeah.
is bad as English, and English is only as bad because it has flipping early Germanic words in it that were changed into French, and then German again, etc. And later German, and
Yeah.
Frisian, and Dutch, and German,
Yeah.
and Nordic.
Yeah, English is like a mixture of languages together.
It's a mixture of so many languages.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, what do I do now? Do I go to the police?
I've been of the opinion that the Dutch language should be abolished since I was like 8. So true.
I'm only learning it because my boyfriend's parents don't speak English very well, so I want to be able to communicate with them, or at least understand when they communicate with my boyfriend, and then I can just be able to understand what's happening. That's really what I'm learning for.
Makes sense.
Because I know I will probably never be able to communicate with it, but if I can understand what people are saying, it will make stuff so much easier.
Yeah. Makes sense. Good luck, Lulu.
Thank you.
So Rolf said it's England's fault for letting themselves get conquered over and over.
Mm-hmm.
I will always stand on the hill that sweet and sweat are spelled wrong based on how they sound. Understandable.
Well, Rolf, your country wasn't even a real one until like 2 centuries ago, so...
Yeah.
And you lost part of it, which became Belgium. The most important part, too. So, the part where everything was happening, aka Flanders.
And then... Yeah,
I mean, they are mostly... My boyfriend's dad is, like, half Frisian, so...
Hey, now we do have the oldest national anthem, so there. Yeah, the only reason English is such a widespread language is because both England and America were such big colonizers. At one point, the British Empire was everywhere, and now we have to deal with the repercussions of that.
Only because we were given Dutch colonies because the Dutch did some weird shit. Namely, their stadtholder, by the way, who handed all their shit over to us just to get it away from the French that were trying to invade them. So, you know.
Makes sense. It always goes back.
How would I even explain the situation? It all goes back to the French, yes.
Yeah, yep. It all goes back to the eternal hatred between the British and the French. No two countries hate each other as much as Britain and France do.
It is still such a giggle that the French decided to back y'all in in the revolution and then had a revolution themselves.
Yeah. Well, it was probably like the French like try once again doing anything just to get back at the British and then immediately getting right back in their own butt.
Yeah, let's not do that, Rolf. Let's continue with the game, please. I can see it now. There's this girl out there, and he's after this person named Hitomi Isoa. And then the police would be like, who is that? And who exactly is after her? And then what would I say? Heck, they might not even give me the time of day in the first place.
But they could at least try and find out who you are. Like,
yes.
Again, this is so stupid. This is like one of the first things I would do. I would be like, can you look me up? Can you take my fingerprints and look me up in your database to see who I am? Or if they know me already for something.
Not only do I not have any idea who Hitomi Osawa is, I know nothing about the guy who's after it except that he works with a cane. I mean, I can't even tell them who I am. They'd probably shoot me away without a second thought.
Why? Why?
The problem is that she doesn't even know herself, but she also knows that these people are after this person who apparently looks like her. So how can she trust anybody when she doesn't even know herself?
I mean, yeah.
Why would she go for somebody with that when they could know the person with the cane and have an issue?
But that's not what she's saying. If that's what she was saying, I would understand that. But she's just like, nah, they just would be like, who are you? And just shoo me away without talking to me. Like, why would they do that? That doesn't make sense. Like, her thought process.
Because this is what anxiety brain does.
True.
Because brain is not logical. What am I supposed to do? I hang my head at total loss. The necklace around my neck sways idly to and fro.
What? There's a keep out. Oh yeah, I think I remember that there was a keep out somewhere, but I don't remember where the jump was. Could it be this? Oh yeah, it's this one. I hate brains, so irrational, so true.
Right? Even when you logically know what is true, the brain's still like, but what if?
Yeah.
Eventually I muster up the energy to start walking around town, heading nowhere in particular. Billboard outside of a department store displays the poster of some female musician. She must be pretty popular because lots of passersby stop to take a good look. I catch sight of little Hannah in front of the billboard. There's a woman there, with crumpled pieces of paper, almost like it's the woman in the poster.
Yeah.
The woman looks a lot like the musician in the poster, because she is. Moreover, I have the feeling I've seen her someplace before. Where could I have seen her? Literally in everything around you. Man, having amnesia is really a pain in the ass. It makes you really fucking stupid. I have no idea of knowing whether I've forgotten something or had no memory of it in the first place. The woman looks through the papers. Hannah held out to her, nodding approvingly at each one, and hearing her murmur with admiration. Hannah! I wave as I scamper over to her. As I do, the woman abruptly takes off. we meet again. Hannah just gives me a bored look. Who was that just now? I don't know. Hannah quickly gathers up her belongings and starts walking briskly away. Oh hey, wait up! The girl ignores me. She's moving at a jog now, heading from Spanish Hill towards Kowidori.
Oof.
As she steps out onto Kowidori, she trips and falls down hard. The contents of her bag spill out onto the road. Whoops! Catching up to it, I gather up some of the fallen pages. What's this? There are poems written on the coloured paper.
Copies of a prose poem titled The False Monsoon. The poem delicately details the wavering emotions of an adolescent girl. Also, in a clever twist, if the text is read horizontally instead of vertically, it tells about a father's worries over his only daughter, who is now a marriageable age. Hana's genius will soon be discovered by Aya Kamiki, and she will go on to become a popular songwriter. Yeah, it looks like that hurt.
A look of embarrassment crosses Hana's face as she snatches the pages out of my hands. Don't touch those! Those are for sale! For sale? I'm selling poems that I wrote. Oh wow, that's incredible! She looks surprised by the compliment. Incredible? Your friends at school said they were dumb. It's not true. I only saw a little just now, and I thought it was a really good poem. You're just saying that. I've been out here in Shibuya for weeks trying to sell these. The only person who's bought one was that lady just now. Hannah let out a small smile. Sigh. Well, what are you doing out here selling poems for anyway? Oh, maybe it would help pay back our debt. Huh? Okay, that's not something I'd expect to hear from a little kid. My dad's in real deep, bruv. The topic makes me think of Mr. Yanagishida. Guess today's my day for meeting people mired in debt. I'm only in elementary school, so I can't get a part-time job.
Japan's Labor Standards Act prohibits the hiring of children under the age of 15. For certain jobs within the entertainment industry, however, employers can obtain permission from the Labor Standards Inspection Office for younger children to work.
Which is video game speak for don't look at us, we got permission to use this child actor in our video game.
Yep.
I'm impressed, you're so brave. She's maybe a little hard to approach, but she is just a kid after all. She's basically had to raise herself.
Yeah.
She's so brave, I just want to give her a hug. I hear a strange wailing call from behind me.
Oh, Hana!
Startled, I turn around to see Mr. Toyama standing there, tears streaming from his eyes.
Hana! I'm so sorry. I had no idea you were trying so hard to.
Toyama rushes up to the girl.
Child labor is illegal. Don't worry, we're not paying her. Oh no.
We're paying her parents.
No.
It's quite the emotional father-daughter reunion. At least that's how it looks until Hana slaps her father across the face with a bundle of papers.
What was that for?
Do you give me that? I'm sick of all this running around! She delivers several more well-placed smacks with their little craft project.
Okay, I know you're upset, but I have to ask you for just one thing, then we can see about getting through the day, yeah?
Okay, but just one. can't help but find this ordinary interaction kind of charming. You two get along really well, don't you?
Yep.
Nope. The two give simultaneous contradictory replies. And then Harness suddenly starts to wander off, with Toyama twittering after her. Such a weird little sight, but I can't help but laugh. Well, later then.
Oh. That was in the trailer for the game.
What? Why does Midora Kara die? Ford?
I have no idea. Lulu?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I thought you died.
I did. The explosion killed the Discord call.
Oh no! Oof.
Over a long corridor, I come across a car on the roadside that's particularly aflame.
But yeah, that scene of her like standing in front of the car and it exploding is in the trailer for the game, so I recognized it.
Onlookers surround it in a confused uproar.
Oh, thank you, Lulu.
It seems almost unreal, like I'm looking at set for a TV show or something. I stand there staring into the flames. Huh? What's that? I can see something. The raging heat makes the air shimmer. The scent of dry sand fills my nose. A gust of searing wind tugs at my hair. Where am I? Decaying roads. Decaying houses. A decaying city. And the people who live there. People who live. People who live. People who live. There's someone by my side. Someone is with me watching all of this.
It's Kanan.
It's a girl. The person with me is a girl, slightly younger than me. She says something to me. Anya is me. Cat's cradle. Cat's cradle. That's my voice now. Cat's cradle? Whose voice was that? What's going on? Who am I talking to? Yeah, cat's cradle. I'm looking at someone to do how to do a cat's cradle with string. But who? Who am I showing how to do a cat's cradle? Canaan. The word Canaan echoes in my head.
I ship Maria and Kanan so much. Like, one of the first things she remembers is this girl she met.
Yep.
That's been trying to find her this whole time. Like, the ship is real.
Canaan. I heard the name aloud. The images floating above through my mind are beginning to break up and vanish. But I feel like, for a brief moment at least, I caught hold of the edges of some of my lost memories. That's right. Canaan. As soon as I say it, I'm filled with a powerful sense of duty. There's something I'm responsible for, doing that I needed to do. And if I don't, this Canaan person is going to be in grave danger. Calm down. Just calm down. Pleading with myself now, fighting the impulse to take off running. If I did, where would I go? I have no idea what my destination or my goal even is. Please, please remember something. Please, please. I gaze out at the flames, practically praying now. A voice hisses in my ear. I feel so hard pressed against my back. It's his dictum. I don't need to turn it. It's his dictum. I don't need to turn around to recognize whose voice it is.
I hate that. Oh, there's a Denny's! There's a Denny's back there! Look at it! It's even just the regular Denny's. It's not even an anime Denny's.
Yeah, they have Denny's in Japan.
Yee.
I thought you said you didn't have any business with. I don't love thinking. It's the man with the cane, slowly. About how I might lure a teacher of yourself, see? I'm going to use you as bait.
As you said, I leave for 1 second, a bot comes around, so much hate.
Right?
Aw, snap. Hey, we got to the end of the hour, let's go! We did it. We've done it, squad. That song is still always a bop every time.
Oh, yeah.
Cleared the 1500 time block. Woo! We've done it. So now we're at 1600 to 1700. So I think we have this block, then we have, because I just looked at, like, a list of all the times. So we have this block, we have the next block of 1700 to 1800. And then we have one more block that I think is 1800 to 2000. Like, I think it's just all at once.
Yes.
To the end. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer. We have this block, the next block, and then one more block. So 3 blocks left before we beat the game. The end is in sight.
But not for months.
Yeah. Big oof. Well, I think we finished the last block pretty fast. I think it only took us a few streams to get through. So it really depends how long these blocks are. But I think for now... Wait, what time is it? Yeah, it's almost 3 hours. This might be a good time to call it for today.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest it anyway, because that's enough for me.
Yeah, understandable.
It's always good to stop after a block, because then...
Yeah. I mean, I kind of see each block as kind of like
We
an
start
episode of a
fresh.
TV show.
Yep.
So we finished an episode. We're on to the next episode now. Yeah. I'm excited to see where this continues to go. And I believe in the dream. I think we'll get done with this sooner rather than later, but we'll see. We'll see, especially with me working on, like, once I start work, it's gonna be a struggle to find the right time to do this, but we'll figure it out.
Yep.
We'll figure it out. But thanks for joining, Lulu. You're the best. Thanks for watching. You're the best. And thanks for joining Azure and Rolf. And thanks for the raid, Red Ginger Cat. And thanks for joining Mew. I love you all very much. Let's see who we shall raid. Let's see who's live.
I love you all more than Anya does.
No, I love you. Let's see who's live. Oh god, it's not muted. Okay, there we go. I heard myself for a second and was like, oh god. Tilly is live. Tildays. So, let's raid Tilly. Thank y'all for joining. I love you all very much, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Oh boy.